Today I want to demonstrate what happens when you cry in space, because I cry all the time. I'm not going to cry right now, though.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Amish Space Station, and today I am having a lot of fun. I'm about to flex my ass off. This video is going to be a review of the Lesser Sapien, you know, like the black samurai type of shit. Even though samurais aren't necessarily black, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. We're not even gonna, we're not even getting into that. This guy likes to talk a lot of crap on Eric Dubay, and this is, I love it personally. So let's get into it. I'm ready to go.
Hey everybody, I've been making my way through Eric Dubay's 200 Proofs Earth is Not a Spinning Ball. I've made my way up to number 52 at the moment. It's a bit of a slog. I can only take bullshit in small portions. And by the way, to those that keep telling me that this video is convincing, you know there are not 200 proofs on this list, right? Out of the first 52, there are only 20 separate concepts being put forth.
All right, let me stop this retard right there. This is for everybody. First off, every experiment, and I think I'm going to start putting this on every one of my videos so that everybody realizes this right in the beginning. Every experiment that is a scientific experiment has to have an independent variable and a dependent variable, and you have to observe a natural phenomenon, okay? Not something man-made. No pictures like Fight the Flat Earth and, his retarded none of that. No pictures, okay? Because the cause of a picture is man-made, okay? It has to be a naturally occurring thing. What that means is that if the sun is rising and setting due to curvature or spinning rotation of whatever Earth, then you have to prove that by manipulating the cause, meaning you have to stop the Earth from spinning to prove that that is what that is. That is how far science is off of its rocker, is that they are making blind assumptions. And I'm going to put that on every one of my videos so that all of you realize that anyone who defends NASA and these globe religious zealots is lying, because there is no scientific, okay, what that means is you're following the scientific method, okay? Not choosing when to manipulate a variable, okay? Listen, correlation is not causation. Just because you see something and it correlates, it is not an experiment. You don't just watch something through observation. It has to be manipulated, okay? And it has to be tested. Your independent variable. Let's go.
You see, flat earthers want their model to supplant the globe model, the heliocentric model, and the standard model. In order to do that, it has to do three things. It has to have answers to all the questions that have already been answered by the current models. It has to answer them better than the current models. And it has to answer questions that the current models don't have answers for.
All right, let me correct this ignorant moron right here. You see, this is what happens when too many people listen to idiots, okay? We, as a whole, are all questioning science. That is all we are doing. We are questioning the methods that they are using because we have discovered that they are not using the scientific method. Does everyone understand that? You're not using the scientific method. You are using the scientific, so-called scientific consensus. Okay? Similar to intellectual phase locking, meaning, do you see what I'm saying? You don't have to prove it, but I just want to make sure you're following with me intellectually, okay? It is not real, okay? The flat earth does not have to do any of that stuff he just mentioned at all, because first off, flat earth is getting censored on the internet and everywhere, okay? So how is it that flat earth is going to be able to present their cases and go head to head if you can't get Neil deGrasse Tyson to even show up and debate Eric Dubay because he's too scared? Or similar to Wakey Wakey's video with the astrophysicist, world-renowned astrophysicist that got angry instead of just asking the question. She got angry and she walked out because he caught her in lies that she could not explain at all, okay? Because she's never done any research. She's only listened to what she has been told, okay? So without all the nonsense, let's see if this idiot will actually pose any questions.
Where is Venus right now? Back in June of 2012, I recorded the transit of Venus across the face of the sun. You can see the video here. This is 15 minutes of video sped up to 1 minute. I put eclipse filter glasses over the camera and caught it. According to the current model, Venus and Mercury have orbits within the orbit of the Earth and around the sun. So, periodically they pass between the Earth and the sun.
I have to stop this idiot right here, okay? Oh my God, folks. Where is Venus right now? Who fucking cares? Who cares? Who cares? What the fuck does that have to do with the flat Earth? Where is... Listen, I need to make sure you all understand this, sir. Where is Venus right now? Because if you are able to answer this question, then your Earth is a ball. Do you understand? Where is Venus? Who gives a fuck where a light in the sky is? Look, I'm sorry for my language on this, but some guys really, really trigger me, you know, and because some of their statements are the most stupid, idiotic statements I've ever heard. So, yeah, folks, listen. Where is Venus right now?
Why do the sun and moon rise and set the way they do?
Already been answered, and this is another space question. And this is the problem, is that none of you have been to space. He has not been to space. And none of it matters about what the other things that we see in the sky are doing. It's like, okay, since it's raining outside, what that means is by tomorrow, I should have, a full bucket of snow. It's like none of it has a correlation and none of it is actual science. It doesn't matter why the sun and the moon is rising or setting, because none of that has anything to do with if they used an independent variable to be manipulated, which is part of the scientific method, okay, which is the presumed cause, okay, which is Earth rotating. If they did not stop the Earth from rotating, how is it that you can say that it is rising and setting because of the rotations? You can't, because it's not a real experiment. Look it up, folks. You have been lied to. And he's going to keep talking. I bet you he's going to continuously talk about space, because space is already a mystery place, because you can't have gas pressure next to a vacuum without a container. It violates the second law of thermodynamics. You can't have it. There has to be something blocking it, okay, in order to build up pressure. How can you have a vacuum and not suck our air off this planet? Gravity is not the answer to that. Ask someone to define gravity. I bet you're going to realize that it's a theory. It has not been proven. Most people don't know if it's a cause or an effect, okay? And then most people can't even agree on whether or not it's actually a force, all right? You guys need to do research. Realize that this guy is a sham. I'm picking his answers apart. This is the first time I've ever seen this video.
Why does daylight on Earth have the pattern that it does?
You know, I'm really bored with all of these questions because they're all stupid. You're talking still about the sun. So he mentions in this video that Eric Dubay mentions that a fish wouldn't be able to swim with the force of gravity and a bird wouldn't be able to fly with the force of gravity. That's at least two different things. This is the second question he has asked about daylight and the sun, illuminating half of the Earth. First off, do your research and you will realize that there are places on this Earth, okay, that are not supposed to have sunlight, but they do at the same time as other places, and they are very far apart from each other, and they are not supposed to have sunlight, buddy. So look into that, all the listeners and viewers, look into it, and you will realize that it has already been debunked, okay? It's already been debunked. I don't care about any of that because none of that has anything to do with our shape of the Earth. You're talking about a sun in space that you don't even know how far away the distance is. You cannot measure light accurately. There is no particles in between. that you can measure the speed of. That is why the speed of light has been changed throughout the years over and over again. It still will be a mystery. Do your research, folks. It's right there in front of you.
What holds the sun and moon in place and moves them?
Are we ever going to stop talking about space when you've never been there and it violates the second law of thermodynamics? You can't even explain how you have gas pressure, okay, next to a vacuum without a container, and you're still talking about gravity and weightless zero G and mass attracting mass, and you can't even show how space actually exists. They are lights in the sky, Greater Sapien, you retard. Are you stupid? Why don't you give me a real moon rock? You know, why don't you fly up to Venus and get me something off of that so-called planet since you're worried about where it's at? Since it's like how far away from us? How does it matter? This is what I'm talking about, folks. Retards. Pretending to be scientists and they're still talking about the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets. They can't talk about Earth.
Why do you see the same face and phase of the moon no matter where you are on the Earth?
Here we go again, guys. I am exposing this retard right here in front of you. I'm literally exposing him right here. I'm pulling his fucking pants down and I'm spanking his big, ugly ass right now, okay? I am literally exposing this freak for you right here, okay? It doesn't matter, okay? You see the same phase of the moon for the same reason that they say you see the same phase of the moon. But the fact is that they can't get past their Van Allen radiation belts. The astronauts can't be sure if they saw stars or if they didn't. It's all lies. They never even set foot on the moon. Here's my question. How come you can see stars through the moon? Why don't you guys Google that? If the moon is this hard surface, how come you can see stars through the moon? How come I have seen stars through the moon? This guy is an idiot.
Why does a lunar eclipse happen?
All right, guys, I don't want to waste your time anymore because clearly this guy is just not going to stop with all of these space-related questions and all of these stupid questions. If you want to know why that happens, here's who I want to refer you to. His name is David Weiss, okay? Look up Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. DITRH. Look it up. He has all of this laid out. He shows you exactly how the phases of the moon work. He shows you exactly where the sun goes. His model is probably the most accurate model I've ever seen, ever. And I've done a few years of research into this. Okay, he has one of the best models of what we are able to see ourselves and what we can tell ourselves. I'm not even going to waste your time any further with this guy because I'm sure all of his other questions are going to be all space related and not Earth related. I want to know where we are and what we are on. He wants to know what the lights in the sky are because all of his science is all pseudoscience, okay? So look up again, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, David Weiss, and look up his model. He answers all of these questions in every single one of his live shows. He goes over exactly how the sun circles over the earth, and he does a very, very good job with it. But I'm not going to waste your time on this Lesser Sapien retard. So everybody, this has been Amish Space Station, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Help me really get this channel going, guys. I'm trying to just enlighten people. You know, I'm not here to say that the earth is flat. I'm here to show the lies. I'm just here to show the lies. That way everybody can wake up and decide what is true for themselves, okay? I'm here to show you how they're manipulating your mind with space instead of reality that we see on Earth. All right, guys.